From Aurora, New York, it's Wells College baseball on the banks of Cayuga Lake as the Express come chugging off a 3-game sweep of Gallaudet to host an out-of-conference challenge in the first-year program in the Hobart Statesmen, who take the 45-minute drive over Seneca Lake to Cayuga Lake and the Wells Athletic Complex. Eli Fishman alongside with you on Wells Athletics, where the Express look to end a weekend series, and after a weekend series which saw them pour 39 runs on the Bison and move to 10-19 overall and 4-11 in United East play, whereas the Statesmen come off a split with Union this weekend for the first ever meeting between these two programs. Hobart enters today's midweek matchup 6-15 on the year and 2-9 in the Liberty League play. Taking the mound for the Express is the freshman right-hander Xander Johnson in his third start of the year and first appearance on the bump since March 29th. Here's the Statesman lineup he will face in the first, as presented by head coach Brad Cook, assisted by Vincent Redmond, Lucas Olson, and Dan Ponce. Christian Petrie leads it off. He's the shortstop. Evan Munoz is the left fielder, hitting second. Ty Gallagher, the catcher, hitting third. Will Jones is the designated hitter, hitting fourth. Isaiah Pinto hitting fifth, playing third base at the hot corner. Nate Garrett hitting sixth at first base. Michael Presbury is in right field, the 7-hitter. Alex Morse is the second baseman, hitting eighth. Rounding out the order is Joe McCoy, and Griffin Snyder is on the mound for the Statesmen. The first year of the baseball program at Hobart, or the first time since 1993, as it was brought back for the spring season. And Brad Cook, a former Division I assistant at UMass Lowell, at the helm of the Statesmen. It's Xander Johnson on the mound. The southpaw kicks and deals, and the first pitch is a fastball in there for a called strike to Petrie. The freshman shortstop hitting .277 on the year with a 767 OPS. Johnson kicks and deals that one fly down the right field line and out of play. Foul, so just like that, up 0-2 is Xander Johnson, making his 7th appearance of the year and his 3rd start on the season. The 0-2 breaking ball slips away up and out. Behind the plate doing the catching is Bradley Mills. John Valinodi in left. Zach Odom in center. Lance Phillips in right for the Express. As Johnson, the 1-2. Breaking ball is hit sharply. A diving play by the third baseman, but that will get booted away as a line drive in the 5-6 hole. The third baseman, James, is able to get a glove on it, diving to his left, but unable to come up with it. Bounces off his glove. We'll see the scoring decision on that one. But a runner on first regardless, as Evan Munoz digs in from the right side with a runner on first for Hobart. Munoz hitting .225 on the season with 6 RBI and 12 runs scored. Pickoff attempt by the southpaw, and back with a dive is Petrie. It'll be a single as a hard hit shot to James. So the first runner on via the single in the scorebook, as the fastball outside out of the hand of Johnson makes it 1-0 to the freshman left fielder. A 715 OPS for Munoz on the season. And another pickoff attempt is back with a dive is Petrie. And this is a team, obviously, in Hobart comprised of a lot of very, very young players, given it being the first year with the program. Another pickoff attempt, now 3. With only one pitch being thrown to Munoz being the ball. 20 freshmen on this Hobart roster, as a fastball upstairs makes it 2-0 to the second batter of this ball game for a 6 p.m. start in a midweek matchup between the United East's Express and the Liberty League's Statesmen. The 2-0 fastball in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Hobart 6-15 on the season. And 2-9, they've played 21 games overall. With the split of Union this past weekend, another pickoff attempt. And right back at first is Petrie. Express coming into this one at 10-19, playing 8 more games than Hobart's played all year. They're 4-11 in United East play. And the 2-1, breaking ball away, makes it 3-1. Johnson 1-2 on the season, a 6.86 ERA in 22 2/3 innings pitched on the mound for the Express. And the pitch, fastball low for a ball, and after the leadoff walk, Munoz gets on via the walk. So the first 2 runners are on for one of the top hitters in the region, and Ty Gallagher, who digs in from the left side. As Gallagher, the transfer, one of 4 transfers on this Hobart team from Herkimer Community College. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch is roped out to deep right center field. Going back, and that one will one-hop the wall. Rounding third, in at home, standing up in Petrie. Getting the wave is Munoz. He's at home, standing up. And a 2-run double off the bat of Ty Gallagher puts the Hobart Statesmen up by a score of 2-0 with no outs in the top of the first. Munoz and Petrie both score. Gallagher stays scorching hot. I didn't even get to mention that he ranks top 5 in the Liberty League at the moment in slugging percentage, on base percentage, and OPS. Hitting .381 on the year, but we'll get to that later. He's got a lead off of second. A 2-0 lead for the Statesmen, rather, with Will Jones stepping up to the plate. The first pitch, Jones sees from Johnson, in there for a called strike to make it 1-0. 18 strikeouts to 15 walks on the year for Johnson, making his first start since March 29th in a battle versus Madai. And the breaking ball swung on and missed, so it goes 0-2. On Jones, hitting .353 on the year, 15 RBI for the freshman. A long pause, and the 0-2. Fastball fisted on the right side of the infield. Coming in on it is the right fielder Phillips, and he makes the play. Retreating back to second is Gallagher. Jones is retired via the pop fly, and there's one out. So Isaiah Pinto will dig in now. A .283 average on the year, with 1 home run, playing third base for the Statesmen. Still a runner on second in Gallagher, no one covering. And the first pitch out of the hand of Johnson, in there for a called strike. Catches the bottom of the zone. And the infield is Jacoby James, Nick Manee, Max Odom, and Zach Young on the infield. As that one is fouled back by Pinto. A 0-2 ball game as Hobart jumping out with the lead here in the first. Johnson's pitch, his 0-2 pitch, is outside for a ball on the off speed, and it's 1-2. The pitch, breaking ball, chopped in front of home plate, trickling foul, and at will as James picks it up by the third base coaching box in foul territory. 2 hits, 1 RBI over this past weekend's Union Series for Pinto. Both teams coming off big weekends in conference play, as that one roped to deep right center field, going back and looking up. Bye-bye baseball. It's a 2-run bomb off the bat of Isaiah Pinto to right center field, as Ty Gallagher comes in to score, and just like that, it's a 4-0 ball game. Statesman lead here on the top of the first inning. It's the second homer of the year for Pinto. The 2-run blast. And now 4 of the first 5 batters to step up to the plate have come in to score following the Ty Gallagher 2-run double. And now Presbury will dig in for Hobart. The freshman right fielder hitting .262 with 3 RBI on the season. And the second pitch he sees, rather, is swung on and missed. So it goes 0-2 on Presbury. And that one blooped on the left side of the infield. And making the play is Nick Manee, the shortstop, for the out. So now 2 outs after the 0-2 infield pop-up. Hobart scored 4 runs in the first inning that they played on the first game of the season against William Peace, as well as that one in there for a called strike. In the first year of the program, in over 2 decades, they scored 4 runs in the first inning, but then in the 8th and 9th, William Peace came back to win it as a fastball low and in. And they will say it hit Presbury, or I guess not. He flipped the bat and went to first base thinking that it hit him. But the home plate umpire calls him back. So we'll now dig in with a 1-1 count against the southpaw Johnson. Working quickly, quicks and deals, and that one roped to deep right field. Going back on it is Phillips. He won't get there. And that ball is gone. Another homer, the second of the inning for the Statesman, as Michael Presby puts it out to right field. Now 5-0 the score here in the top of the first. It was 3 straight hits, a flyout, a homer, another flyout, and Presby with his first homer of his collegiate career. And it's 5-0 Statesman. So Alex Morse will dig in from the right side, and the first pitch he sees is a fastball away for the ball. Morse, one of only 3 players in this lineup who are not freshmen playing in their first collegiate season. Morse, the transfer from American International. And 1-0 outside for a ball to Morse. He played 2 seasons for the Yellow Jackets at American International, appearing in 20 games with a .261 average. And the 2-0. In there for a called strike. He goes 2-1. After Presby's homer made it 5-0 Statesman. Johnson looking to get out of this one. The 2-1. Breaking ball chopped over the head and into the gap. It'll bounce all the way off the right center field wall. Odom picks it up and gets the throw in. But before that, it's a double for Alex Morse, standing up at second base, and the inning stays alive for Hobart. It's the 5th hit of the inning for the Statesman. And 4 of them have come via extra bases, and that will provoke a mound meeting. As Coach Ryan Stevens will take a trip out to talk to his pitcher in the freshman. Stevens in his 3rd season at Wells. Coming over from TC3. And the mound meeting is complete, a brief one with a big lead for Morse, the 8th hitter to come to this inning, as Joe McCoy is now the 9th hitter to step up for the Statesman in the first. It's 5-0. And the first pitch that McCoy sees is low for a ball. 3 for 16 is McCoy with an RBI and a double on the season, the junior center fielder. I mentioned one of 3 players who's not a freshman, and McCoy was recruited from Hobart. Is that one in there for a called strike? So the count goes 1-1 to McCoy, because McCoy played on the football team at Hobart. As the 1-1. Breaking ball, just upstairs. Makes it 2-1 on McCoy, the 9th batter to come to the plate this inning. And the 2-1. Smoked a high fly ball left side of the infield. Going back in shallow left field and making the play is Nick Manee to retire this side. but not before 5 runs come across for the Statesman on 6 hits, 5 of which go for extra bases, 2 homers. And we will head to the bottom of the first here on Wells Athletics, a 5-0 lead for Hobart. And we return in the bottom of the first inning. 5 runs for the Hobart Statesman on 5 hits, including 4 going for extra bases and 2 homers. The 3-run bomb off the bat of Isaiah Pinto. The solo shot off the bat of Michael Presbury. And it is 5-0. Griffin Snyder takes the mound for his 6th start of the season for the Hobart Statesman. And this will be the lineup that he will oppose on the Express side. Head coached by Ryan Stevens, assisted by infield coach Ian Crawford, bench coach Jared Strait, and student assistant Joe Cuddy. Max Odom leads it off at second base. Zach Odom in center field. The twin brothers hitting 1 and 2. Lance Phillips in right field hitting third. Zach Young is the first baseman doing the cleanup. Jonathan Haynes, the designated hitter, hitting fifth. Jacoby James at third base hitting fifth. Bradley Mills hitting sixth rather. Bradley Mills, the catcher, hitting seventh. John Valinotti in left field hitting eighth. And Nick Manee, the shortstop, rounds out the order as Max Odom digs in for the Express in the first pitch. Out of the hand of Snyder is chopped foul behind the plate. A few raindrops beginning to fall at the Wells Athletic Complex. The temperature in the mid-50s for first pitch at 6 p.m. Fastball upstairs out of the hand of Snyder. And Griffin Snyder in his second collegiate season, another transfer student on this roster, as another fastball in there for a called strike on the outer half to make it 1 and 2. The transfer from Russell Sage College in the Empire 8. 1-2. Fastball swung on and shot foul down the third base line and into the Hobart dugout. Snyder pitching last year at Russell Sage, making 8 starts, appearing in 14 games, 34 and a third innings, as the fastball upstairs makes it 2 and 2. To the leadoff hitter Odom, hitting .295 on the year for the Express. The 2-2. Fastball chopped foul. Again, putting up a good at-bat is Odom. Another 2-2. Fastball chopped up the middle, a base hit. So the first batter of the game on both sides gets on base via the single. Petrie with a single to lead it off in the first for Hobart. And now Max Odom able to attack a base hit on for the Express. And his twin brother, Zach Odom, will dig in. Zach, a .324 average, .724 OPS on the year. And Snyder kicks and deals. The fastball's fouled off, out of play. Behind home plate. Odom, 9th in the conference with 10 stolen bases as he digs in. He went 2 for 5 on Sunday with 2 RBI. And the 0-1. Fastball upstairs. Let's make it 1 and 1 on Zach Odom. Another pickoff attempt. And back safely is Max at first base after the base hit. Snyder's 1-1. Breaking ball low. So it goes 2-1. And Snyder, one of the top arms on this Hobart team, 27 innings pitched this season, 17 strikeouts, an 8.67 ERA. And the 2-1. Slider upstairs. So it goes 3-1, and after allowing a single to Max Odom, the first batter of the game, for the Express, it's a 3-1 count. As Zach putting up a good at-bat here. 3-1. Fastball low and away. A 5-pitch walk to Zach Odom following the leadoff single. And the Express now threatening as the rain's starting to come down a little heavier now. With runners on first and second, it's Lance Phillips hitting .347 on the year with 12 RBI. Snyder comes set, checks the runner, comes home with the fastball in there for a called strike to make it 0-1. Snyder coming off the best start of his collegiate career against St. Lawrence on the 8th of March. Hasn't thrown since then. As the 0-1. In there for a called strike as well with the fastball catching the top of the zone. And it's 0-2. Wind blowing out towards right center field. And an 0-2 count on the 3-hitter. And Phillips is able to get a piece of it, foul it off. And that one looped into shallow right field. Coming in and unable to make the play is the right fielder Presbury. Rounding third base, getting the stop sign at third is Odom. Lance Phillips with the base hit. He was down 0-2, bloops it into right field, and now the bases are juiced as Zach Young digs in. It was Max Odom with the single to start the inning. Up the middle, Zach Odom with the walk. Now Phillips down 0-2. With the wind blowing out, he bloops it into right field. So Zach Young will dig in. 2 homers, 17 RBI on the season for the freshman Young, who digs in from the right side. And the first pitch to Young in there for a called strike. On the outside corner to make it 0-1. Snyder, I mentioned, coming off his best collegiate start. 6.1 innings as he throws in another strike to make it 0-2. 6 1/3, 6 hits, no earned runs on 6 strikeouts against St. Lawrence on the 8th of April, that was. As the 0-2 is going to be chopped. And that will get up the middle, past the diving shortstop Petrie. In at home safely is Max Odom. Zach Odom rounds third. He scores as well. So this is now a 2-5 game after the 2-run single off the bat of Zach Young, as Zach Odom and Max Odom both score. Two RBI and a 5-2 ball game as Jonathan Haynes will dig in. And the first pitch he sees gets away, or rather will be fouled off. Off on the pitch was Phillips. He'll now retreat back to second base. And that one is going to be hit to deep right field, going back and foul down the right field line. Wind still blowing out, rain continuing to pour at the Wells Athletic Complex. And the 0-1 is going to be fouled again down the left field line. So an 0-2 count on Haynes. A tough at-bat. He's staying alive. As Snyder comes set. Rain continuing to come down. The 0-2 breaking ball in there, called strike 3. So Haynes goes down looking via the strikeout. It's the first chair of the afternoon for Griffin Snyder. And now 1 out. Still runners on first and second. With Phillips off second, Young off of third. And Jacoby James will dig in for the Express from the right side. Righty-righty matchup. Snyder checks the runner at second. Comes home. Breaking ball low and away. Makes it 1-0. James coming off a 5 RBI performance in a grand slam yesterday. First Gallaudet. And the 1-0. Swing and a miss as the bat goes flying down the left field line. He swings and misses in that one. James is going to have to take a walk, or rather his third base coach, Stevens, is going to go get it. And that one landing just to the left of the third base bag, about 90 feet down the line. And James will head back to the dugout, add some pine tar to the bat. Overcast skies. There was a little chance of rain, but it's picking up throughout the ball game. As James adding on some more and more pine tar. And he'll step into the right batter's box yet again. A 1-1 count after a tremendous performance for James this weekend in a 3-game set, which Wells swept. The 1-1. Breaking ball away. A block by the backstop. Gallagher onto second base. And sliding in safely at second is Young. Heads up base running after Phillips swiped third on the pass ball or wild pitch. Out of the hand of Snyder. Will get a new baseball as that one was low and away. And the dirt got a few feet away from Gallagher. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Wells. Snyder's 2-1. Breaking ball low and away. And it's 3-1 on James. Jonathan Haynes was the last batter. He struck out. But before that, 4 straight runners reaching for the Express. The 3-1 low and away. And how about another walk? It's the second allowed by Snyder in the inning. And the bases are yet again juiced. Meaning the tying run in James is on first base now. With the run in Mills, that would put the Express ahead. Coming to the dish, Bradley Mills doing the catching today. A .229 average. 4 RBIs on the season. Getting limited plate time with Aaron Izquierdo hot behind the plate. Normally, as he fouls one off, Izquierdo, usually the starting catcher for Wells. He's got the day off after catching 3 straight games. It's the 4th game in 3 days for the Express. And the 0-1. Fastball fouled off the foot of Mills, so it goes 0-2 to the sophomore catcher. 4 RBI on the season for Mills as he digs back in. Snyder looks in. 2 transfer students on the battery with Gallagher behind the plate, Snyder on the mound. And the 0-2. Breaking ball low and away, smothered by Gallagher behind the plate. Nowhere for any runners to go with the bases juiced. And it's 1-2. With the tying run off of first base in James. A lot of speed on the bases with Young and James at second. And that one roped up the middle, and it's going to be grabbed by the shortstop Petrie. He throws on to second, not in time. Another run comes across for the Express. Everyone moves up a station. That'll be an E6 on the side of Hobart, as Petrie wasn't able to come up with the wet baseball. Flips it to the second baseman Morse, but it was not in time as James had a good jump on the pitch. It's now a 5-3 ball game, and John Valinoti digs in with the bases juiced. And that one low for a ball. James off of second now. Mills off of first. Young off of third. With the game-tying run at second base after Hobart put up 5 in the first. And the pitch to Valnoti in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. A 263 average, 768 OPS for Valnoti this season. As taking a walk out to the mound will be the head coach of the Statesmen, Brad Cook. Cook, the pitching coach for the Bourne Braves in the Cape Cod Baseball League, the premier summer baseball league in the United States. And they were the champions last year up in the Cape. A pitching guru throughout his career, a former pitcher himself in the Division I level at Marist University, where he won back-to-back MAC championships. Did Cook a few years in Florida as a junior college pitching coach. Coming up to the Northeast, UMass Lowell, a Division I program as a pitching coach, and now taking over the managerial duties for the first-year program in Hobart. The 1-1 to Valnoti in there for a called strike on the outside corner. So now a 1-2 count, 1 out, bases juiced for Valnoti. The 8-hitter in this express order. Snyder, the Russell Saints transfer, comes set. Checks the runner, comes home, breaking ball low and away. Valnoti does not chase, so the count goes 2-2. Flag pointing straight towards center field. Wind blowing out here in Aurora. The 2-2. Breaking ball, a high fly ball down the right field line, hooking foul, and it will go foul. So the count stays 2-2. On Valnoti, fighting off the fastball. 2-2 count. Bases juiced for Valnoti with 1 out. The pitch is going to be chopped, and the play is going to be made by the third baseman, Pinto. He throws across the diamond, and that one is going to be wide left, but he does step on the third base bag before to get the out in the lead runner. But another run comes home for the Express, and it's now 5-4. So they got James at third. So now 2 outs on the fielder's choice off the bat of Valnoti, and Nick Manee will step up with runners on first and second for the Express. The first pitch he sees is going to be chopped, just foul down the line, and fair, I guess. He got it just before that one crossed the line, a late second call by the umpire. So 2 runners left stranded as the pitcher picks it up in Snyder just before it goes foul and steps on first base for the out. But 5-4 now the score. 4 runs for the Express after Hobart put up 5 in the first. 9 runs in the first inning combined between these two teams as we will head to the top of the second on Wells Athletics. Well, it was an eventful first inning in Aurora. 5 runs for Hobart, on 2 home runs in the top of the first, then 4 runs for Wells on 3 hits and a pair of walks and error as well in the bottom of the inning. 9 total runs scored combined by these two teams in the first. Wells stranded 2 runners on base on an awkward play at first base to end it. In the pouring rain as well, it's been an eventful inning so far. Fastball just upstairs to the top of the order in Christian Petry, who had a single, came around to score in his last at-bat. And the lefty-righty matchup. A long pause for Johnson. And the southpaw winds and deals the 2-0 in the dirt. So 3-0 on Petry. Hard rain for a few minutes in the middle of Wells' 4-run inning in the bottom of the frame. Odom with a single, Phillips with a single, then Young with a 2-run single. And runs coming home on a fielder's choice and an error. As the strike makes it 3-1 on Petry. 13 runs scored for the leadoff hitter, now 14 on the season. The 3-1 outside and another walk. The second allowed by Johnson, and Petry is on first base as Munoz digs in from the right-handed batter's box. He walked and scored his first time. And then it was Ty Gallagher with the 2-run double, Isaiah Pinto with the 2-run homer, and Presby with a solo homer for himself as a pickoff attempt, and back easily at first is Petry. Speed on the bases for this Hobart team. They like to run quite a bit, as we've seen this season. And the first pitch is low and away, or outside, is skirting to his left. He's the backstop Mills. A long pause for Johnson. Checks the runner at first. Comes home, the 1-0 breaking ball in there for a called strike. A .392 on-base percentage as a team for Hobart. That's 6th in the Liberty League. Only a .264 average, but they get on base any way they can. As another pickoff attempt. No Michael Whitehurst in this lineup for Hobart today. He's been the main base stealer. And one of the big presences at the top of the lineup for Hobart is the fastball outside. Makes it 2-1. That one slipping out of the hand of Johnson. And a 5-4 game in the top of the second, with a runner on first after the leadoff walk in the second by Johnson. Another pickoff attempt. And another head-first slide safely back into first base by Petry. And the 2-1. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. Catches the bottom of the zone on the curveball. Out of the hand of Johnson, it's 2-2. As Johnson battling back here, checks the runner at first again, and another pickoff attempt. Understandable with the speed in Petry over at first base. A few stolen bases. 4 extra base hits on the season for Petry. As the 2-2 to Munoz. Fastball outside. And it's now 3-2. After the leadoff walk in the second, Munoz has worked a full count. And Johnson will look in, give the nod to Mills. Checks on Petry at first. Comes home. And the fastball's fouled back on the bottom of the screen behind home plate. So the count stays 3-2. Johnson challenging Munoz with the fastball. 3-2. Down the heart of the plate. Gets a piece of metal on the ball. And the 3-2 yet again. Fastball upstairs. Runner goes. And that one's going to be fouled back and out of play. Petry was off on the pitch. Another foul ball by Munoz. And the long at-bat continues. We've seen 4 pickoff attempts. And this will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat as well. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball, dropped in just outside for a ball. Johnson wanted that call. Getting some questions from the Wells dugout as well. So back-to-back walks to start off the inning, and that'll bring up one of the most dangerous hitters in this area surrounding Bugle Lake in college baseball. It's Ty Gallagher. With runners on first and second. First pitch to Gallagher. Fastball up and in for a ball. Lefty-lefty matchup. Gallagher, we didn't even get to say it because he smoked a 2-run double on the first pitch that he saw of his last at-bat. But the transfer from Herkimer Community College, the national champions in junior college baseball last year. The 1-0. Breaking ball again. That one upstairs. And for good reason, this is a guy you don't want to challenge at the plate. A .657 slugging percentage, .527 OBP this year for Gallagher. And the 2-0. Fastball in there for a called strike. Catches the top of the zone. Gallagher hit .372 last year with 27 RBI, 22 runs scored for Herkimer. He was on the all-tournament playoff team. A national championship ring to show for it. And the 2-1. Breaking ball smoked into deep right center field and making a sliding play. He can't get there. In right field is Phillips. That one rolls all the way to the wall. Rounding third, coming home is Petrie, rounding third now. And Munoz slides home safely, standing up with his second 2 RBI double of the day is Ty Gallagher. So the lead extended to 7-4. As the 2 runs come home, deja vu all over again after the first 2 runners in the first inning reached base and then got knocked in by a double to the exact same part of the ballpark by Gallagher as Will Jones digs in. Fly out to left field in his last at-bat, and he takes a fastball in the dirt for a ball. Jones with hits in 7 of his last 8 games, currently on a 5-game hit streak for the Statesman. And the 1-0. Fastball low and away. So it goes 2-0 on Jones. One of 6 freshmen in the starting lineup. And one of 20 on the Statesman team. The 2-0. Fastball just low, or just in there for a called strike at the bottom of the zone. So it's 2-1 to the right-handed hitter. A Liberty League Rookie of the Week a couple of weeks ago. And the 2-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. And that one will skip away from the catcher, Mills. Advancing to third base is Gallagher on the pass ball. So now a 3-1 count as Gallagher moves over. He's now 90 feet away from the plate. In a 7-4 ball game, an eventful first inning plus. As Johnson's looking for his first out here in the second. And the 3-1. Hit over the heart of the plate and deep into center field. Now coming in and not going to make the play. In center field is Odom. And coming home is Ty Gallagher on the RBI single off the bat of Will Jones. So now an 8-4 lead. And now a 4-run lead for the Statesmen. As that one looped into center field. Looks hard hit at first. The first step for Odom was back in center. Then he came in, bounces in front of him. And a runner on first. As Pinto digs in from the right side. The first pitch he sees is a fastball in there for a called strike. Pinto, the 2-run home run in his last at-bat to deep right field. The deepest part of this ballpark. The 0-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner, just low and away. So it goes 1-1 on Pinto. Johnson comes set. Comes home. That one in there for a called strike. So now 1-2 on Pinto, who hit his second homer of the season. Now 17 RBI on the campaign for the freshman. And the 1-2. Breaking ball just low for a ball. So the count goes 2-2. Johnson looking for his first out of the inning. With the count even at 2 to Pinto. Pickoff attempt, back with a dive. At first is Jones following his RBI single. As Pinto looking to knock him in. The 2-2. Breaking ball upstairs for a ball. And the count worked full. Another lengthy at bat. This one worked by Pinto. The runner off of first and no outs. The payoff pitch out of the hand of Johnson. Breaking ball, and the runner goes. It's a called strike, so strike 3, the first strikeout of the day, as Pinto goes down looking, but stealing second base is Jones. So now 1 out, and another runner in scoring position for Hobart, as Nate Garrett digs in a fly ball to shortstop in his last at-bat. And the first pitch, he sees a big swing and a miss on the breaking ball. So it's 0-1. A .231 average for Garrett on the season. Native of Duxbury, Massachusetts. Takes a breaking ball. And they'll say he did offer. So it's 0-2. And the 0-2. Breaking ball dropped in there. Runner off on the pitch. Throw down his third base. Not in time by Mills as the breaking ball dropped a few feet in front of home plate. Mills smothers it. It goes a couple steps to his right. And quick base running by Jones. He advances to third. Now another runner 90 feet away with 1 out for Hobart. So 1-2. 1 out, runner off a third. And the pitch. Breaking ball dropped in there, called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts, the first 2 of the afternoon for Johnson. Both via the breaking ball as Garrett goes down swinging, and now 2 outs is Michael Presbury. Presbury digs up for Hobart. Presbury, the home run, the solo shot in his last at-bat. The first pitch he sees, fastball outside. Presbury, another freshman on this young team from Manasquan, New Jersey. And the 1-0. Breaking ball, swing and a miss for strike 1. A big wave and a miss. That one bouncing off the plate. That big curveball that we've seen utilized quite a bit from Johnson. Action in the Wells bullpen in right center field. As Johnson's pitch count is getting up there. And the 1-1. Breaking ball inside. That one is going to skip away from Mills. Coming home is Jones. And Hobart pouring it on. 9 runs now on the board. 4 more for the Statesman in the second inning. It's a 9-4 game. Only 8 outs into this game. So a 2-1 count, a 9-4 score, nobody on now, and the 2-1. Fastball in there for a called strike. So it goes 2-2 on Presbury as Johnson looks to escape it without any more harm. The 2-2. Breaking ball. He offered, but that one gets away from the catcher. Mills goes all the way to backstop. Throw to first. No throw. So reaching first via the drop third strike is Presby. It's the third strikeout of the afternoon, third of the inning consecutively. And a game where we've seen a lot happen so far. Only 8 outs into this one. And he reaches via the drop third strike pickoff attempt. Presbury's back as Alex Morse digs in. He doubled in his last at-bat to right field on a ball that got by Phillips as he dove. Almost made the play, but it went all the way to the wall. And he went all the way to second. So the first pitch to Morse in there for a called strike to go 0-1. That was the 10th hit of the season. 5 RBI, 5 runs scored on the 2023 campaign for the transfer student Morse. And another pickoff attempt and another slide in safely by Presbury. So we saw quite an eventful first inning. 9 statesmen coming to the plate. 5 runs coming in. A walk as well, and then 2 walks to start the inning out of the hand of Johnson, and then 3 straight strikeouts as another pickoff attempt. But the final one, Presbury reaching on the drop third strike. So we've seen 2 walks, an RBI double, an RBI single, and 3 straight strikeouts, but still, here we are. An 0-1 count on Morse. Checks the runner, comes home, and that one swung on and missed. Rather foul tipped into the glove of the catcher Mills. And it's 0-2 again, 1 strike away from getting out of this inning is Johnson. He comes set. Checks the runner at first pickoff attempt, back with a dive. Yet again is Presbury. And we mentioned the speed of this Hobart team. Presbury among those who can fly on the bases. Is that one fouled back? So we'll do the 0-2 yet again. Pair of steals for Presbury, 2 for 3 this year. And as a team, Hobart is 45 for 54 on the bases. Another pickoff attempt. And yet again back easily is Presbury. Very high success rate, a lot of stolen bases. That's 54 attempts in only 21 games for Hobart. The 0-2. Breaking ball, and that one is going to be hit out to deep left center field. Going back, unable to get it is Odom. He cuts it off and throws it in. Play at second, base bud. And oversliding the bag will be Morse at second, so he gets tagged out on what would have been a double. So 1 runner stranded as Presbury was rounding third, almost in at home by the time that Morse was tagged out, but that run doesn't count, so it's a long single. But the score remains 9-4 as we head to the bottom of the second, following quite an eventful first inning and a half. "26 batters have come to the plate so far in this ball game as Odom skies one down the right field line and foul. We're only in the bottom of the second. 9 outs have been recorded. 26 batters have come to the plate. It's a 9-4 game between Hobart and Wells. And the 0-1 to Max Odom is swung on and hit sharply to the shortstop Petrie, who picks it up, throws it across the diamond, but not in time, or rather, just in time to beat the speedy Odom. A bang-bang play at first base. That one was close. So Zach Odom will dig in, following his twin brother on the bang play, and there's one out. The first time in this ball game that the first batter to come to the plate in the inning was retired. That one, a line shot to the third baseman Pinto. He throws across the diamond in time. A tremendous play, diving down the line by Pinto. And Zach Odom is retired. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Or 3 pitches, 2 outs after Max Odom fouled the first pitch off. As Lance Phillips will dig in. He singled, came around to score in his last at-bat. More action in the Express bullpen as the pitch to Phillips catches the outside corner, makes it 0-1. 9 Express batters coming to the plate in the first inning, scoring 4 runs, the 0-1 breaking ball outside. And that started with 4 straight runners reaching base on 3 hits and a walk, and then a strikeout, walk, error, fielder's choice, and ground out for the Express in the first. The 1-1, a high fly ball, left side of the infield, shortstop Petrie under it, and he makes the play. Side is retired. 3 up, 3 down, some normalcy in this ball game, and a quick pace in the bottom of the second as we head to the top of the third. It's 9-4 on Wells Athletics. Bradley Perry takes the mound for the Express. A 9-4 ball game. 4 more runs for Hobart in the second inning. None for the Express. They go down 1-2-3. The first pitch is a breaking ball well outside for Bradley Perry. The new pitcher in this game for Wells, and the sophomore deals the 1-0 in there for a called strike. 7 1/3 innings. 5 earned runs, good for a 6.14 ERA, 5 strikeouts as well for Perry. And the breaking ball is chopped foul down the third base line and out of play to make it 1-2 on Joe McCoy, the 9-hitter, who popped up to shortstop in his last at-bat to end the first. 17 different statesmen have come to the plate through 6 outs. And that one a high fly ball just in front of the pitcher's mound, going out to make the play and turning his back towards center field is the catcher Mills. A nice play. McCoy is retired via the foul pop-up, and Christian Petrie, the leadoff hitter, will dig in with 1 out here in the third. Petrie reaching base and scoring twice, singled in the first, walked in the second. Both times came home on the Ty Gallagher 2-run double. Gallagher's got 4 RBIs in this game as the breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. 21 innings last year for the sophomore Perry. Getting some work in relief here And the 0-1 roped to deep left field. Coming in and making the play is Valinoti. A hard-hit line drive off the bat of Petrie. Valinoti's right there. A strike to his chest. And now 2 outs. 5 consecutive outs in this ball game. After that was not the case. There wasn't 2 consecutive outs until that point. And the first pitch in there for a called strike to Munoz. The 0-1. Breaking ball in there for a called strike again. Munoz has walked twice in this ball game and scored twice. Reaching base in both plate appearances as he fouls the 0-2 off his front foot. And we'll walk it off as he hobbles around the batter's circle. In some pain, fouling that one off a tough spot on the ankle. Trying to fight it off. Get back in the batter's box with an 0-2 count, and he does. Perry kicks and deals, breaking ball low and away, and it's 1-2. To the freshman left fielder. Munoz hitting .225 on the year. And the 1-2. Breaking ball, hit foul down the right field line. Giving chase is the first baseman, Young, and he makes the play in front of the Wells dugout. It's been 6 straights out in this ball game, 3 up, 3 down in the top of the third. We head to the bottom of the frame on Wells Athletics. Zach Young digs in the 4-hitter for the Express. It took 27 batters to get through 9 outs of this ball game, and the last 6 have gone down in order. As here in the bottom of the third, a called strike on the outside corner to Young. Took 27 batters between top and bottom of the first and the top of the second, as that one roped foul behind home plate off the screen. It's a 9-4 ball game. And then it was 3 up, 3 down for Wells in the bottom of the second. 3 up, 3 down for Hobart in the top of the third. With Bradley Perry on the mound, taking over in relief for Johnson. As the 0-2, getting a bat on it, is Young. He fouls it back. So it stays 0-2 as he wails at the breaking ball, but able to get some metal on it and stay alive. The 0-2. Breaking ball, chopped. It's going to be a tough play for the third baseman, Pinto. He picks it up, throws across the diamond in time. A nice play, and now 7 straight retired in order. Between these two teams, as Jonathan Haynes digs in, he struck out in his last at-bat. He was the first out of this ball game for Wells, and the first pitch he sees is low for a ball. 9 batters coming to the plate for Wells in the first. And the breaking ball is hit sharply again to the third baseman. Pinto on a hop, throws across the diamond in time. So back-to-back 5-3 ground outs. And make that 8 in a row retired in this game. Snyder back on the mound. And he walked one, gave up 3 hits in the first, but has looked solid elsewhere. Didn't get help with an error by the shortstop, Petrie. A fielder's choice, a wild pitch as well. As James digs in with 2 outs. First pitch he sees, dished outside for a ball. Out of the hand of the sophomore and Russell Sage University transfer in Griffin Snyder. The 1-0. Fastball at the top of the zone. And it's 1-1. And now the 1-1 to Jones. High fly ball behind the second base bag on the infield. Petrie, the shortstop rather, it'll be the second baseman. Morse going out to make the play behind the bag. 9 up, 9 down, at least in the last 2 innings for both of these teams. And it's a 9-4 ball game as we head to the top of the 4th on Wells Athletics. It's 3-4-5 due up for the Hobart Statesmen here on the top of the 4th. A 9-4 game. Hobart leads after it took 27 batters coming to the plate to retire the first 9 batters of this entire game. The last 9 batters in this game have now gone down in order as Ty Gallagher, who has 2 RBI doubles today, both 2 RBIs, so totaling 4 RBIs on the day, as he ropes one down the right field line, and what a play, snagged on a line drive by the first baseman Young as he was falling to the ground. So for the first time today, Gallagher's retired, and there is 1 out here in the top of the 4th. After 2 innings of ball, allowing 17 batters to come to the plate over the first 2 innings. Slider outside to Will Jones, who digs in. He had an RBI single in his last at-bat. Bradley Perry has retired the last 4 in a row. Slider upstairs. Coming in relief of Xander Johnson, who finished his day with 2 innings, 8 hits, 9 runs, 8 of them earned, 3 walks, 2 homers, and 3 strikeouts. He exits this game with a 36 ERA on this day at least. But first, it's a 3-1 count to Will Jones. 1 for 2 on the day, 353 average on the season. And the slider swung on and missed, so it's now 3-2. And Bradley Perry looks to keep his perfection going through an inning and a third. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's the first strikeout of the day for Perry, who's now retired 5 in a row. As Isaiah Pinto will dig in, a 2-run homer in his first bat of the day. A strikeout in his second against Johnson for one of his 3, and the slider outside makes it 1-0 on Pinto. As that one is going to be chopped to the third baseman. James picks it up, throws it across the diamond in time. Make it 12 in a row retired in this ball game, including 6 of them coming by way of the right-hander in Perry. And we will head to the bottom of the fourth. Wells down by 5. It's 9-4, looking to tack something on here on Wells Athletics. It's 7-8-9 due up for the Express here in the bottom of the fourth. A 9-4 ball game. Hobart leads. They scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings of play and have been quiet since. Wells scored 4 in the first as well. But the bats of either team have been silent since the top of the second inning. There hasn't been a hit in this ball game. There hasn't been a base runner in this ball game since the top of the second after 13 runs in the first inning and a third. That one chopped to the third baseman. Pinto throws it across the diamond on a dot to the first baseman Garrett, and there's one retired. Struggles for Griffin Snyder in the first, including allowing the first 4 runners to reach on 3 hits and a walk. He then walked 1 more in the inning, but was able to get out of it with a pair of ground balls and a strikeout, limiting Wells to 4 runs. He stranded 2 runners on as Valinoti digs in, and the first pitch he sees is lined up the middle, a base hit. The first batter in 10 batters in this ball game to reach base is John Valinoti, who lines one up the middle. That's his first hit of the day. And with 1 out, a runner on first for the 9-hitter, Nick Mani for the Express. A ground out to first base in Mani's last at-bat, as the freshman shortstop takes a fastball outside on the pitch. First pitch he sees. Mani, limited playing time this season as he attempts to drop a bunt down, but it's fouled back. 20 at-bats, 4 hits for Mani on the season. Splitting time at shortstop, primarily with Zach Legarreta. Another bunt. That one right in front of home plate. It's going to go to Snyder, the pitcher, who throws on to first in time, but advancing to second base is John Valinoti. The sacrifice bunt moves him up 90 feet as Nick Mani goes down on the sac bunt. And there's 2 outs for the top of the order in Max Odom, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored early in this one. First pitch he sees is the breaking ball on top of the zone and up. So it goes 1-0 on one of 2 Odoms in this lineup for the Express. High fly ball, deep center field. Going back is McCoy. More steps back onto the softball field here at Wells Athletic Complex, but he tracks it down for the third out. 1 hit, 1 runner left on base, no runs in for the Express in the bottom of the fourth. We head to the top of the fifth. It's a 9-4 ball game on Wells Athletics. It's 6-7-8 due up in the Hobart Statesman order. They lead 9-4 here on the top of the fifth. And the first pitch is a breaking ball low and away after Bradley Perry has come in and locked it down for the Express, retiring all 6 batters that have come to the plate since he came in to pitch in relief of Xander Johnson. And the sophomore from Dryden, New York, locking it down out of the bullpen. Working quickly here as that one chopped, and it'll get up the middle for a base hit. So that streak of sitting down 6 in a row is erased with the Nate Garrett single up the middle out of the reach of the shortstop Manie. Skipping over the second base bag. And the leadoff runner is on in the fifth. It's the first hit of the day for Garrett. And now the 9-hitter McCoy is the only batter not to reach base in the Hobart lineup, as 9 different runs have come in to score. And we'll have a delay. Looks like a switch of bat for Presbury, as he'll dig in from the right side. 1 for 2, struck out in his last at-bat after a homer in his first. He shows bunt, pulls back, and it's away for a ball to go 1-0. Presbury's actually reached in both of his at-bats because he reached on the drop third strike and his second when it went all the way to the backstop. He turned on the Jets, got in there as the breaking ball just misses his back. It's inside for a ball, goes 2-0. Bradley Perry with a couple of strong innings thus far, and the 2-0. Breaking ball upstairs, some chin music on the breaking ball. Presbury ducks his head out of the way. So now 3-0. After 6 straight retired. That one in there for a called strike. To go 3-1. Perry working extremely quickly here on a chilly afternoon. Wind blowing sharply out towards right field. And the breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. And it's 3-2. So after being down 3-0, Perry's battling back. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. It's the second strikeout of the afternoon for Bradley Perry. And there's one out here in the top of the fifth. The 5th strikeout for Express pitching so far today. And the first pitch up over the head of Alex Morse. 2 for 2. He singled, was thrown out trying to stretch into a double in his last at-bat. And the 1-0. In there for a called strike. Breaking ball just drops in on the inside corner. So a 2 for 2 day for Morse. And the breaking ball in there for a call strike. Runner goes. It's a delayed steal. And standing up at second is Nate Garrett. Got a late jump. Did the delay steal just a couple of seconds after the catcher Mills caught it. And he caught the Wells defense off guard. That one there, in there for a called strike, though, so it's 1-2 on Morse. Perry's pitch. Breaking ball swung on and just getting a piece on it, fouling back. He's the American International University transfer student, where Morse played 20 games, hitting .261 with 9 RBI, coming over to the first-year program in Hobart. And the 1-2. Breaking ball. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Back-to-back Ks for Brad Perry. That's his 3rd of the day. And now there's 2 outs as he's looking to strand the leadoff single. As Joe McCoy digs in, he's been retired in both of his at-bats today. The only Statesman not to reach base, the slider. Hit deep into right center field. Coming in and making the play is the right fielder Phillips to strand the leadoff single. It's still 9-4 now as we head to the bottom of the 5th on Wells Athletics. It's a 9-4 game. Wells trails by 5. They'll look to change that here. Griffin Snyder still out onto the mound for the Statesman. It's been a pitcher's battle, at least, since the bottom of the first. Only one above the minimum. There's only been one hit since the bottom of the first, as Zach Odom steps up for the Express. Bradley Perry with some strong relief on the side of Wells. A fastball upstairs. Makes it 2-0 on Zach Odom, who walked and scored in his first plate appearance and grounded to third base in his second. Fastball at half in there for a called strike. So it goes 2-1 to the center fielder Odom, coming into this game hitting .324 on the season. Snyder kicks and deals. That one a high fly ball, deep right field. Going back is Presbury, and he makes the play, shading towards the foul line in the deepest part of the ballpark. And there's one out. So now 7 of the last 8 batters coming to the plate have been retired by Snyder, who's settled down after 9 batters came to the plate in the first. Make that 10 of the last 11 who have come to the plate. Retired the side in order in the second and third, allowed a hit in the fourth. And Lance Phillips, 1 for 2 on the day. Fastball in there for a called strike. So it goes 1-2. Who singled and scored in the first. And the freshman grounds the 1-2 pitch to the second baseman Morse into the hole, and a wild throw, which is going to hit Phillips as he's running down the line, drawing the first baseman Garrett towards home. Hits Phillips, and he's on first base on the E4. So the second inning of the day by the Statesman middle infield. And with 1 out, a runner on first for Wells, trailing by 5 runs as Zach Young digs in, takes a first pitch called strike. Young, the 2-run single back in the first inning, ground out to third base in the third inning. And a really impressive year for Young, another freshman on this team, as that one is going to be looped right back to the pitcher, Snyder, who flicks it to first base for the out. Advancing to second is Phillips. So the 1-3 ground out on the PFP, and Jonathan Haynes will dig in. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Haynes, along with Mani, the only Wells batters not to reach base today. And the breaking ball drops in there for a called strike. So it goes 0-1 on Haynes, the two-way player for the Express. Fastball upstairs, some chin music, ducks his head out of the way, and it's 1-1. Pitching some big innings this year for Hobart, for Wells. And he's the 5-hitter in this game. As he skies one behind home plate, giving chase is Gallagher, but he'll just look back. Is that one onto the golf course behind home plate here on the campus of Wells in Aurora. And still a 1-2 count on Haynes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The elevated fastball. Haynes swings through it. It's another strikeout. The second of the day for Snyder, as Haynes goes down swinging. One runner stranded on the air. No hits, no runs for Wells in the 5th. We head to the top of the 6th. It's the top of the order, and Christian Petrie, 1-2-3 due up for the Hobart Statesmen, who lead 9-4 here in the top of the sixth. And the first pitch, a breaking ball in there for a called strike. Bradley Perry has been excellent these last 3 innings. 4 strikeouts, rather 3, as that one lined down the left field line right to the glove of Valinotti, a line drive to the left fielder. But 3 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed, no runs for Perry. Who came on in the 3rd inning in relief of Xander Johnson. And he's retired 11 of the first 12. As that one roped down the left field line, extra bases bouncing off the wall. Standing up at second base is Evan Munoz with the double. His first hit of the day. And only the second hit in the last 4 innings for the Statesman. It's a runner in scoring position for the always dangerous Ty Gallagher. So Gallagher digs in from the left side. A hard line drive to the first baseman Young in his last at-bat. And he takes that one for a called strike. 4 RBIs on 2 two-run doubles on the day for Gallagher. He's 2 for 3. Looking to add to the performance here. The 0-1. Slider low and in. For a ball to go 1-1 on Gallagher. As Perry looks in, comes home, it's a fastball upstairs. Excellence by the Dryden, New York native on the mound. In his 10th inning of the season, he had 7 1/3 entering today, as that one smoked down the right field line foul off the bat of Gallagher. 6.14 ERA entering today for Perry. And Gallagher hitting .381 on the season entering today. Now with 24 RBIs on the year. And a top 5 on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS in the Liberty League. The 2-2. Skied foul behind home plate. So he stays alive at 2-2. 9 strikeouts and 63 at-bats for Gallagher. A very tough guy to strike out. Also walks a lot. 18 as he ropes that one through the 3-4 hole on the right side of the infield, standing up at home plate. And another RBI for Ty Gallagher on the RBI single. It's his 5th of the day. Munoz comes home. His 3rd run scored of the day following his double. Make it a 10-4 lead for the Statesman. The first run allowed in relief by Bradley Perry. And Will Jones, 1 for 3 on the day, digs in. And the breaking ball off the helmet. So hit by pitch. A fired up Hobart dugout as he takes a free 90. And now runners on first and second. It's only the 3rd free 90 allowed by this Wells team after 2 walks in the first. So Gallagher off a second. Jones off a first. Pinto the hitter now, and the breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. Pinto the 2-run homer in his first at-bat. And he's been retired in his last 2, so 1 for 3 on the day. As he kneels down to tie his shoes next to home plate. No pressure. And digs back in from the right side in the righty-righty matchup. Perry. A long pause, looks in, gets his sign, checks the runner at second, Checks Gallagher again. Comes home, and it's a fastball up and in for a ball. Perry working quickly, but messing with timing as well of Statesman pitchers. 41 pitches for Perry. The 43rd is a slider low and away. So it's 2-1. Action in the Wells bullpen. And the breaking ball outside makes it 3-1. 3 strikeouts so far for Perry. Only 3 hits allowed and 1 run coming home. 3-1 pitch. Fouled back and out of play. So a full count now. 2 Pinto. The 2-run homer in the first. And Perry will step off the mound. Step back on the rubber. Looking to get out of a sticky jam. 3-2. 1 out. Runners on first and second. And a line drive over the head and knocked down by the second baseman Odom. He flips to second for 1. And that's all they'll get. But lucky to get that one. That one roped over the head of Odom. He just was able to knock it down with his glove. But that goes as a fielder's choice. One of the hardest hit fielder's choices you will see. And now 2 outs for Perry. And runners on the corners as Gallagher advances to third on the play. And Pinto reaches base for the second time today. So Nate Garrett will dig in from the right side. A pickoff attempt first to Pinto. We haven't seen his speed on the bases because the only time he technically reached base was the 2-run homer. But he's got speed. Wouldn't be surprised to see him off on the pitch with Hobart up by 6. And another pickoff attempt. He's back with a dive. A 10-4 score in the top of the 6th. 2 outs. Perry comes home and nips the outside corner for a called strike. Perry continuing an impressive season. And Hobart today, 6 for 14 with runners on. And 3 for 8 with runners on and 2 outs. Breaking ball in there for a called strike, so it's 0-2. There have been 123 total pitches thrown by the Wells pitching staff. After 76 for Xander Johnson in 2 innings, and 47 now for Bradley Perry through 3 2/3. Only 63 for Griffin Snyder through 5. He's really settled down. After giving up 4 runs in the first, he's only allowed 1 hit since then. Couple pickoff attempts later, and the 0-2. Breaking ball, fly down the right field line, out of play. So we'll do the 0-2 yet again. Morrison Gallagher, the only 2 statesmen with multiple hits on the day. The 0-2. Breaking ball, high fly ball. First base dugout giving chase is Young, and he makes the play in front of the dugout. So now 2 outs. That is 3. I thought it was 3, but they weren't running off the field. Wells now realizes it was 3. They run off the field. So the side is retired on the foul out. 1 run comes home on the RBI single by Ty Gallagher. It's Munoz following his double. Now a 10-4 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Jacoby James digs in from the right side. Griffin Snyder back out on the mound, and the first pitch swung on and missed. On the fastball by Snyder, who's only allowed one hit since the first inning, in which 4 runs came across for the Express. James 0 for 1 on the day with a walk in his first plate appearance. Back in the first inning, he was stranded on base. The first 4 runners of this game scored for both teams. 5 runs for Hobart in the first, 4 in the second, in addition to the 4 in the first for Wells. So 14 runs in the first inning and a half. Silent since then. It took 27 batters to get through the first 9 outs of this ball game. A 2-2 count on James, who takes the 2-seam fastball running inside. 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, only 3 of them earned for Snyder with a pair of strikeouts. And the payoff pitch to James is outside, and a leadoff walk for the Express here in the bottom of the 6th. Much needed, as they're down by 6. And Bradley Mills will dig in. He reached on an error in his first at-bat, grounded out to third base in his second. One of only 2 Express batters not to reach base today, or not to have a hit today, rather, as Mills did reach on the error. And the 0-1 is a breaking ball. We'll say he did not go on the check swing, so it goes 1-1. Mills swings and misses at the 1-1. Action in the Hobart pen. And the breaking ball is looped into shallow right field. Coming in is Presbury. He makes the play. Retreating back to first is James. So now 1 out. Still a runner on first for the Express here in the 6th. John Valnoti digs in. 1 for 2 on the day, a .263 average. Entering today on the season, he grounded into a fielder's choice his first at-bat, singled in his second in the 4th. Up with James and speed off of first for the Express. Snyder breaking ball outside, rather in there on the outside corner for a called strike. And it's 0-1. Pitch count getting up there. 72 for Snyder. As fouled back by Valinotti. So 0-2 now. Snyder looking to retire the 8-hitter in the Express order. He's unable to do it with the breaking ball on 0-2. It's low. And Valinotti leaves it in the dirt. With Nick Manee on deck. The 1-2. Fastball low and away for a ball. So it's 2-2. Valinotti with some big hits early in the season for the Express. He's got a homer and 11 RBI. And the righty, Snyder, deals. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 3. It's the 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Snyder as Nick Manee digs in from the right side. 0 for 2 on the day, a sac bunt. Back in the 4th to move over Valinotti after his single, but Max Odom would hit a deep fly ball to center field to end the inning. And he's now up with James off of first. Down by 6 are the Express in the 6th. And the 1-0. Fastball low and away. To Manee.
Takes a called strike, so it's 2-1. From the Kenilworth, New Jersey native, freshman infielder and pitcher for the Express, offers it the 2-1 on the check swing. So it's now 2-2. Snyder looking to get out of the jam. The 2-2 with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. That's the 4th of the day, and the leadoff walk in the 6th is stranded. No hits, no runs. 1 runner left on base for the Express as we head to the top of the 7th on Wells Athletics. Seven, 8, 9 due up for the Hobart Statesmen. A 10-4 lead in the top of the 7th as a new pitcher for the Express making his collegiate debut. Johnny Pascarella Jr., the left-hander, wearing number 99, the freshman from Dryden, New York, attending Dryden Central High School. On the mound for his first time in Aurora, and the lefty kicks and deals. First pitch in the dirt. To the 7 hitter Michael Presbury. 1 for 3, 2 Ks in his last at-bats after the 2-run homer back in the first inning. And the 1-0. High fly ball, foul down the right field line and out of play. Wind blowing sharp towards the right foul line at the moment. Blowing out towards right center for a lot of the game, including that first inning where Hobart hit 2 homers, including Pinto's and Presbury's. The 1-1 in there for a called strike at the bottom of the zone. So Pascarella leads 1-2 on one of the more dangerous hitters in the Statesman lineup, in the freshman. Playing right field today for the Statesmen. The 1-2. Breaking ball low. So the count now even at 2 for Pascarella, wearing number 99. On the mound for Wells. The 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Skipping away from the feet of Presbury. So now a full count. The Express looking to work a comeback, and they'll need pitching out of the bullpen as the 3-2 is fouled back out of play. A group of strong starters. Jonathan Haynes among them. We've seen some impressive outings on the mound from Zach Cronk out of the bullpen as the fastball low. And a walk worked by Presbury to lead off the top of the 7th. And the first collegiate batter that Pascarella sees reaches on the walk. Nascimento's been lights out of the bullpen. It's mainly been Austin Jordan, Connor Carr-Matthews as well, and Haynes, who've been the backbone of the pitching staff for the Express. As the 8-hitter Alex Morse digs in, takes a called strike on the inner half. Morse playing in his 18th game with Hobart, fouls one down the right field line, rather giving chase is the right fielder Phillips, making a play, and he cannot make a play as he collides with the fence down the right field line. That looked well foul from our angle, but it stays in play and bounces off the fence where Phillips gave chase, making a great effort at the ball, but unable to get there. Bouncing just in front of the fence, just to the right of the foul pole. That one a few feet from being gone as well in the shortest part of the ballpark, but it stays in. Just a long strike for Pascarella. Pickoff attempted, back with a dive. At first is Presbury. Morse, 2 for 3 on the day, a strikeout in his last at-bat, a single and a double, including that single in the second, trying to stretch it into a double. Another pickoff attempt. Morse got there for the double in the second, but slid past the bag. So that one goes as a single in the scorebook. And the 0-2. It's a breaking ball. Slips out of the hand of Pascarella. Well outside. Mills pivots his feet to keep in front. Morse, 9 for 53 on the season entering today with a pair of doubles. Fastball in the dirt. Runner goes. Throw out to second base is not in time. So Presbury picks up on the breaking ball in the dirt on a couple hops. It bounces in front of Mills. Keeps his body in front of it. But still enough time for Presbury to advance. And a runner in scoring position for the Statesman. Up by 6 in the top of the 7th. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball to deep right center field. Going back a couple steps is Phillips. He makes the play. Tagging from second to third is Presbury. In at third easily. With a slide on the wet turf. No throw as it's cut off by the shortstop Mani. And there's one out. In the 7th. As this Wells bullpen has not allowed a run since Xander Johnson came out of this game after 2. Facing 17 batters in the first 2 innings, allowing 10 runs to come in. And the first pitch is in there for a call strike to the 9-hitter. And Joe McCoy, center fielder, 3 for 16 on the season entering today for Hobart. Also a cornerback and wide receiver on the Statesman football team. Breaking ball in the dirt, keeping in front, doing a good job of doing so, is Mills. To keep Presbury at third base, rather. And it'll be a walk out to the mound for head coach Ryan Stevens to meet with Pascarella in his first collegiate outing. So a mid-inning mound visit with a 1-1 count. Mid-at-bat mound visit with that. And I mentioned McCoy, by the way, on the football team. It was a tall task for Coach Cook of Hobart to put together a team with a year's notice. 20 freshmen, a few grad students, but the only player on the team that had been at Hobart for any time before was the batter McCoy, who was recruited from the football team. And when he heard there was going to be a baseball team, he played in high school He jumped on the opportunity, and he lays down a bunt, or attempts to do so. He pulls back. It's a fastball upstairs, and the count goes 2-1. The corner's currently in. Middle infield just about even with the baselines for the Express infield. And the 2-1. A high fly ball foul behind home plate and out of play. McCoy with some impressive numbers on the football field as well. 17 tackles, a sack and a half, and an interception this season for Hobart as the fastball inside, and McCoy gets rung up. It's the first strikeout of the day, for the first strikeout of the collegiate career of Pascarella. McCoy goes down looking on the inside fastball. And now 2 outs, still a runner 90 feet away as Petrie digs in from the right side. The first pitch he sees is in there for a called strike. Breaking ball just in at the bottom of the zone. And it's 0-1. Petrie, 1 for 3 on the day with a walk. A single, 2 runs scored. And the 0-1. The fastball just up and away. By the big presence and the southpaw Pascarella on the mound. Hides the ball behind his back in the 99. Tall as he comes set, kicks and deals. The 1-1 roped into left center field. Making a play on it is Valinoti. He won't get there. It'll split the outfielders. Roll all the way to the wall. Scoring easily is Presbury. And in at second base, standing up, is Christian Petrie with the RBI double to make this an 11-4 game here in the 7th. Phillips, or rather Valinoti in left field, trying to cut that ball off, unable to get there. It splits between him and the center fielder Odom. Clanks off the metal in the deepest part of the park. Allows another run to score as the first pitch, a breaking ball in the dirt to Evan Munoz. 2 walks, a double. He's 3 for 4 on the day with 3 runs scored. 3 of the 11 Hobart runs. The top of the order been a powerhouse for the Statesman team. Fastball in there for a call strike makes it 1-1. And you do not want Ty Gallagher coming to the plate with any runners on base. A big out here for Pascarella and a challenge in the top of the order for a Liberty League opponent as a fastball outside. Facing the first time this year that Wells has faced a Liberty League team in Hobart, the first-year program. And the 2-1. Foul behind home plate, out of play. Hobart currently last in the Western Division of the Liberty League after a split this past weekend in Schenectady to Union. Some tough teams this year they'll have to face in the first year of the program. 2-2. In there for a called strike 3. Catches the inside corner. Goes down looking, does Munoz. Side retired. 1 run comes home on the RBI double off the bat of Petrie. It's 11-4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th on Wells Athletics. Max Odom in the top of the order for Wells, due up in the bottom of the 7th as they trail by 7 runs. It's an 11-4 ball game when the first pitch low for a ball out of the hand of Griffin Snyder. 82 pitches as we enter the 7th inning. 3 earned runs, 4 runs on 4 hits. As a foul ball and off the foot of Odom, it will be called in the batter's box a strike. So the count goes to 0-2. Snyder's been extremely impressive since the first inning, where he allowed 3 of the 4 hits coming in this ball game for the Wells side. And all 4 runs. The 0-2 hit sharply, and that will be snagged by the shortstop, by the second base back Petrie. But he cannot throw on to first base as he will not have a play. That ball looked easily up the middle, but Petrie came out of nowhere to make an impressive sliding play. Hard hit ball by Max Odom. And the leadoff batter is on. Only the second hit in the last 6 innings for the Express offense as Zach Odom digs in. High fly ball, deep center field. Going back is McCoy. He can't find it in the lights, and that one will drop in center field, so everyone will move up a station. On his way to third is Odom. He slides in, and I guess that'll go as a double lost in the lights. McCoy thought he had it off the bat, went all the way back towards the warning track, and then the left fielder, Munoz, came absolutely out of nowhere. He almost was under that, but it was much, much shallower than where McCoy was. 20, 30 feet in front of where he was. Completely losing that one in the dark sky. So a double back-to-back hits for the Odom Twins. Runners on second and third as Lance Phillips digs in for the Express. With now the tying run on deck. Breaking ball upstairs, slips out of the hand of Snyder. Action over in the Hobart Statesman bullpen. Ready to relieve Snyder with a pitch count now at 87. And the 1-0. Breaking ball low and away makes it 2-0 to Phillips. A single and a run scored in his first plate appearance. And then an infield fly ball reached on an error as well. So he's reached base in 2 of his 3 times to the dish. The 2-0 is a breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike on the outside corner by Snyder, who's got 4 strikeouts, inducing 9 ground balls for outs. And the 2-1 in there for a called strike. Catches the inside corner. So Phillips looking to do some damage. Runners on second and third. With no outs, the 2-2. Swing, and that one is going to be grounded right back to the pitcher. Snyder checks Odom at third, goes on to first for the out. So the PFP gives Hobart 1 out. As Zach Young steps up to the plate for the Express. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a 2-run single back in the first inning. Two ducks in the pond for the cleanup hitter in the Wells order. That one outside. Trying to pivot this game towards the offense of the Express favor. That one fouled back. Down by 7. Or the Express. And the 1-1. In there for a called strike, catches the outside corner. And the 1-2. Breaking ball, foul down the right field line, out of play. So 1-2 now with 1 out. Pitch to Young. Fouled back again. The battle continues. Snyder's pitch count being pushed up as well and a Hobart bullpen that's had some struggles this year, which Wells is yet to break into. Fastball outside, it goes 2-1. The freshman first baseman, Young, making a couple impressive plays over there at first as well today. Trying to have an impact with the bat here, as that one is going to be grounded up the middle, but unable to make the play as the shortstop Petrie. 1 run comes in. So we'll see how that one goes in the scorebook. But Jonathan Haynes will dig in, and now a walk to the mound for Coach Cook. His first year as the head coach of the Hobart baseball team. And Brad Cook, he signaled his infielders to get back. And staying in this game will be Snyder. So the mound visit by Cook as Haynes steps into the batter's box. And the first pitch Haynes sees. High fly ball right side of the infield. Under it is the second baseman, Morse. And he's going to be called off. And unable to make the play is the first baseman, Garrett. In at home is Odom. Throw to second base. Just able to get there is Young. So Jacoby James will now dig in as Brad Cook takes a walk out to the mound, and after another error, that will be it on the ledger of Griffin Snyder. We'll take a quick break to tell you who the new pitcher is when he comes into the game with runners on first and second with 1 out. And it's a new pitcher, Peter Dunham, on the mound for Hobart, coming in relief of Snyder, who finishes 6 1/3, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned. But he's still responsible for the runners on first and second with 1 out back-to-back errors. Young and Haynes have reached base. And the first pitch in there for a called strike to Jacoby James. So it's 0-1 on James, who takes the fastball up and in, and it goes 1-1. Two walks and an infield fly ball in the day for James. The 1-1. That one chopped in front of home plate. A weak hit to shortstop. No play for the shortstop, Petry. So a weakly hit infield single, squibbing just past the glove of Dunham into the glove of Petry, who had no play. That's how weakly hit it was on the turf.
Now batting number 7, Bradley Mills.
And Bradley Mills will now come to the plate. And we'll have a pinch hitter in Aaron Izquierdo, who digs in from the right side with the bases juiced in what's now a 7-run game. Rather a 5-run game. A 6-11 score. 7 runs at the beginning of this inning. 2 more for the Express. That one grounded. First base. Play at home in time. They get the force at home. Heads up play by Garrett. Grounding into the fielder's choice is Izquierdo.
Now batting number 18.
So now 2 outs as John Valinotti will dig in as the last hope. With 2 outs and the bases still loaded after they're able to get the force out at home. The first pitch he sees is lined to the second baseman, Petry. On a hop, flips to second in time. So it only took 2 pitches after the bases were loaded. The fielder's choice on back-to-back plays. First at home, now at second base side. Retired Peter Dunham comes in, gets the job down on 6 total pitches. And we head to the top of the 8th, 11-6, after 2 runs come across for Wells in the 7th. Two more runs for the Express. The first runs they've scored since the first inning. They tacked 2 more on the board, but cut the deficit. Still 5-run deficit, 11-6. Express trail the Statesmen here in the top of the 8th. A new pitcher For Wells, it's Zach Cronk. Been strong in relief so far this year. 15 2/3 innings, a 6.32 ERA with 8 strikeouts. And the first pitch to Ty Gallagher dropped in there for a called strike. Gallagher, one of the most dangerous hitters in this Hobart lineup. 5 RBIs on the day. Breaking ball upstairs in there for a called strike at the top of the zone. So now 0-2 on a couple of breaking balls up and out. And Cronk winds in deals. Fastball or off-speed pitch rather outside. Aaron Izquierdo, the new catcher, filling in for Mills after Izquierdo came in to pinch hit, grounded into the fielder's choice with the bases loaded. And the 1-2. So another breaking ball well outside. Peter Dunham came on with 1 out and the bases juiced. Or 1 out and runners on first and second. Allowed an infield single and then 2 fielders' choices to end the inning without being end the inning being unscathed. There's a breaking ball just outside. Cronk wanted the call on the outside corner to Gallagher, doesn't get it. And the count runs 3-2. The right-hander Cronk kicks and deals. The payoff pitch, fastball in there, called strike 3 at the top of the zone. Gallagher goes down looking. He's retired for only the second time today, and there's 1 out in the top of the 8th. So Will Jones, the 4-hitter, will step up to the plate, hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, on the head, and guess what he does in his next at-bat? Same exact thing, a breaking ball off the top of the head. Second time he's been hit on the helmet in this one on back-to-back pitches. So a 1-out base runner for Hobart on the hit batsman. As Isaiah Pinto will dig in. He's been retired 3 times since his first inning 2-run homer to right center field to the deepest part of the ballpark with the wind blowing out towards right field. The first pitch he sees is fouled back and out of play. It's the 3rd time Jones has been on base today. As Pinto entering this game with a .283 average. Pickoff attempt and back with a dive. At first is Jones. Pinto had a very good Union series with 2 hits and RBI as well in the split on Saturday. So Hobart, they got a day off. Wells does not. Playing 4 games in 3 days. Fastball up and out. Pinto, the team leader with 6 doubles on the team, is .443. OBP is second to only Ty Gallagher with an OBP hovering around 500 at this point in the season. Pickoff attempt back with a dive. Only 2 more series at home for the Express. They'll host Penn State Abington this weekend, rather Penn State Harrisburg this weekend for 3 games at the Wells Athletic Complex. And then they'll host Elmira in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks from today to round out their season. Action in both the Wells and Hobart bullpens as a swing and a miss on the breaking ball makes it 2-2 with a runner on first, 1 out. Big lead over at first for Jones. And that catches the eye of Cronk as he offers with a pickoff attempt. And Pinto back in the batter's box. The 2-2. Runner goes. Throw down to second base by Izquierdo. Got him! So the side is retired on the throw down to second base by Izquierdo. On the money to catch Jones trying to take second base. And Dunham will head back out onto the mound for the bottom of the eighth. Wells, 6 outs left with 5 runs to come back. Peter Dunham back out onto the mound for the Express. With a 5-run lead in his back pocket, it's 11-6 as Nick Maney digs in from the right side for the Express in search of his first hit on the night. Here in the bottom of the 8th as that one is fouled back on the first pitch he sees, which is a fastball from Dunham, who came in with runners on first and second, 1 out in the 7th. Got an infield ground ball for a single, allowing an infield single, then back-to-back fielder's choices, including getting a run at home as Maney fouls that one back to make it 0-2. The fielder's choice at home, which caught Jones, or rather caught Young at home, and then a fielder's choice to get James out at second base. As called strike 3 on Nick Maney. He goes down looking, and there's 1 out in the 8th in the top of the order. We'll now dig up for the Express in Max and Zach Odom. But 8 batters came to the plate for the Express in the 7th. Only 2 scored as the bases were left stranded. Odom gets tied up, a swing and a miss. Base hit in his last at-bat. He's 2 for 4 on the day with 2 singles and a run scored. The 0-1. Checks his swing again. The same thing. Got tied up, a little bit of a half swing. He did indeed go around. Now 2 hours, 22 minutes into this ball game in the bottom of the 8th. 5 more outs for Wells to make something happen. As the 0-2's fouled off, Odom stays alive. From the Elmira Express in high school, a Section 8 powerhouse, to the Wells Express, the 0-2. High fly ball, foul down the left field line. Towards the field house. Here behind the campus of Wells in Aurora. And the golf course that spans the entire distance of the field behind home plate. So after 2 tough pitches fouled off, Dunham's still got an 0-2 count on Odom. Fastball upstairs, and it's 1-2. Dunham, the freshman, listed at 6'3", 160 from Syracuse, New York. Played his high school ball at Bishop Ludd in high school. Looking to retire. Odom here, high fly ball. Behind the pitcher's mound. Calling off everyone and making the play is the first baseman, Garrett. So now 2 outs after the strikeout and the infield fly ball. The twin brother, Zach Odom, will step up. Here with 2 outs in the 8th. And the Express down by 5. Zach doubled in his last at-bat after the center fielder McCoy lost it in the lights. As Dunham comes home, and that one is going to be hit foul behind the plate off the inside of the bat. That one running up on the handle of the bat, making an awkward sound as it ricocheted behind home plate. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Odom waves over it. So the count goes 0-2. Impressive work from Dunham thus far. Looking to get out of it here. Fastball up and away. Retiring the last 4 that he's faced, including the last 2 with the bases loaded. The 1-2. Swung on and fouled down the right field line and out of play over the Express dugout on the first base side. Stays 1-2. With 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on. High fly ball. Center field coming in on it is McCoy. He makes the play in right center field. Side retired. 5 up, 5 down for Dunham in relief. And we head to the top of the ninth. It's 11-6. Last licks for both the Express and Wells coming up. Zach Cronk returns to the pitcher's mound for the Express. Down by 5 is Wells as the first pitch, a breaking ball dropped in there at the top of the zone to Nate Garrett. After Pinto struck out to end the inning on a strike him out, throw him out double play, which nabbed Jones at second base on a nice throw by Izquierdo. And Nate Garrett leading things off. He's down 0-2 here in the top of the ninth. And Cronk's pitch is the breaking ball inside. Just low and in on that loopy curveball out of the hand of Cronk. And the righty's 1-2. Outside for a ball. Cronk, the sophomore from Center H, New York, with 64 total innings between this year and last for Wells. And how about a strikeout? And the third for Cronk in his 1 1/3. He's faced 4 batters, striking out 3 of them. Hit one with a pitch, which was Jones, before he was thrown out on the base paths to end last inning. So Michael Presbury digs in, and he ropes one down the left field line. That's a base hit. It'll go all the way to the wall, cutting it off in front of the foul pole is the right fielder, Phillips. And in its second with the stand-up double is Presbury. It's his second hit of the day, both coming for extra bases. As Alex Morse, with it's in his first 2 at-bats before he's been retired in his last 2, digs in from the right side with a runner on second for the Statesman. And 1 out. He takes a fastball on the outside corner. It goes 0-1. Presbury with An impressive performance on the day. Continues that with the double. He's got a big lead off of second, provoking the eyes of Kronk to turn around to second. And a timeout at home before Kronk is able to throw the pitch. He does throw it. He quickly jumped back onto the mound before the batter Morse was even ready. And now the 0-1 is a breaking ball, chopped to the third baseman, and that one will get past the diving shortstop, Maney, and roll into the outfield as the third baseman, James, was shifted in. That one goes past him in the 5-6 hole for a base hit. That's the third hit of the day for Morse. And Joe McCoy will dig in. He's looking for his first hit of the day. The only Statesman to not reach base. And the only Statesman without a hit. Pickoff attempt, and back at first is Morse. As the runner goes, and that went in there for a strike. And they'll let Morse get in there standing up. 14 hits, 11 runs for Hobart. They've made 4 errors in the field as that one is going to be chopped to the shortstop, Maney. On to first, on a hop, making the nice scoop is Young over there at first to keep the runners where they are. Presbury stays at third. Morse stays at second. And now 2 outs after the ground ball, and Christian Petrie will dig in. The RBI double in his last at-bat. And he ropes a slider into left field. Coming in on it and making the play is Valinoti. Or rather, is Phillips in left field. So that'll do it. Side retired in the top of the ninth. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Wells down by 5. They'll need 5 to tie, 6 to walk it off here in Aurora. It's last licks for the Express here in the bottom of the ninth. There were a total of 13 runs scored in the first inning and a half. Silence until the 7th when 2 runs were knocked in for the Express to make it an 11-6 game. And now leading it off is the pinch hitter Ketchum, who ropes one up the middle. And Kyle Ketchum coming in as the pinch hitter gets his second hit of the year, the second hit of his collegiate career. And Wells is alive with a leadoff single here in the ninth. So Zach Young will dig in from the right side as a pinch runner comes on at first base. And And Dunham, who's done a tremendous job in relief, comes home, and that one's fouled down the right field line out of play. Dunham came in with a jam, runners on first and second, got out of it on a few ground balls. As the pinch runner at first base is Chris McLean. Now a 1-1 count on Young. 1 for 4 with a pair of RBI on the day. A couple of nice plays over at first base, including a nice pick on a ground ball earlier in the inning to keep Hobart off the board. That one fisted up the middle. A nice play by the shortstop. Petrie steps on second, on to first. A 6-3 double play. And now 1 out away from victory are the Statesmen. And the final hope will be Alan Compress, who comes in as a pinch hitter for Jonathan Haynes. Haynes going 0 for 4 at the plate. Compress looking to change that line for Haynes as he swings and misses at the first pitch fastball. Dunham, he's been lights out of the bullpen, as I said. 2 1/3 so far, 1 strikeout, no hits, or rather 1 hit, but no runs allowed. And he comes set, comes home on the 0-1. It's a fastball low and away. And the 1-1 is again away to the pinch hitter Compress. Seven for 26 at the plate this season is the pinch hitter with 6 runs scored. He takes a called strike on the outside corner. 1 RBI and a pair of doubles for Compress as well. And down to their final strike are the Express. That one fouled away. So the count stays 2-2. Two outs down to their final strike are the Express. The pitch. It's a breaking ball. Hit hard to the shortstop Petrie. On to first in time. Ball game over as the Express fall to the Hobart Statesmen by a score of 11-6. Wells drops to 10-20 on the season. Hobart advances to 7-15 with a midweek win in an out-of-conference game for both teams. But momentum for a big week ahead for both teams, as coming up, Wells will host Penn State Harrisburg for 3 games this weekend, 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. Friday's first pitch at 3, Saturday's first pitch at noon for that doubleheader. And Hobart, their season will continue this weekend as well, with a big in-conference series for them against RIT. 3 games, 2 in Geneva, 1 in Rochester on Saturday and Sunday. These 2 teams will face each other again next Wednesday in Geneva, with Wells being the away team. An 11-6 win for the Hobart Statesmen, as Wells drops this midweek following a successful weekend in Aurora. Signing off for this one, I'm Eli Fishman saying thank you for listening and watching throughout this ball game, and have a great night.